So it's been a while since I've talked to anybody or no hear, no see of little old me. But fuck, I'm still here. Fucking cold as hell, but fucking still here. But I do apologize for my lack of enthusiasm of wanting to get back to the day-to-day grind and the day-to-day rants that you can hear. I'm still here, though. I'm not left. I'm not going nowhere. But I did take that moment, and I want to explain to you why you haven't heard from me. Why you haven't heard my beautiful voice, my soothing sounds of logic. I've been looking, and I've been watching. I've been keeping up with the local news, world news, keeping up with the tragedies, keeping up with things going on in our lives, things that affect us, things that affect people, things that affect me. I've been keeping up with all that. And man, has it just been just like a storm roll, just like a gigantic snow plow, just moving faster and faster, going down a hill, just moving faster and faster. Every time I'd find one thing, boom, here come another thing. Every time I'd find that thing, and I was like, okay, I'm talking about it, boom, here come another thing. And contrary to popular belief, I don't come out, and when something upsets me, something bothers me, something just gets ingrained, just watching it right out the gate, I'm not one to jump to a conclusion. It sounds like it maybe, I know you think probably, but that's not me. I don't jump to conclusions. I don't assume buck and jack. I don't assume shit. I don't jump to conclusions. And I do not make any decision. I do not try to come up with an argument based on my feelings of how I feel about something. I try to get to the root of the problem. For those who don't know me that well, you might find it really, really, really crazy. But normally, I'm the guy who watches and tries to see a pattern or tries to make some sort of conclusion of how it all got started. Because I believe you could trim a tree all day. You could trim a fucking tree until the fucking end of time. And you will never kill that tree. You will just get the same fucking tree growing once again and once again and once again. And it'll never stop. Because you're just trimming a fucking tree. If you want rid of the fucking tree, trimming it will not get rid of it. All you're doing is grooming it. You want rid of the fucking problem? You dig the fucking thing up. You go straight to the root. You dig it the fuck up. You find out what the fucking problem is. And find out where that root's at. And you get fucking rid of the whole tree. You cannot plant cherry blossom and expect fucking apples. You want an apple tree? You plant a fucking apple tree. You can't plant a cherry blossom and complain you have no apples. You want apples? Apple tree. So that's really what I've found myself doing. Every time I'd see something else happen, I was like, well, it seems to reflect the first thing that happened. So as I saw this pattern, I wanted to go back. I said, people don't just randomly do these things. A man who is a part of militia does not just get shot in Oklahoma, and people think they can get away with that. People don't just randomly come up with Black Lives Matter. No matter what the gangs, no matter what the statistics show, Black Lives Matter just can't walk out there without fucking Sharpton or fucking Jesse Jackson and say no matter what the black guy does, it's justified. No matter how many people he robs, no matter how many lives he's took, he's justified, and you have no right to defend yourself against him. And then you have to play along with that card. You have to play along with it. You have to say, yes, I understand. I'm just holding him down. Me randomly being born a white guy, or whatever, straight, white, male. I just been holding him down, unknowingly doing it. I do it every day. I don't know why. I guess I just had that one coming. I just wonder where all that came from. When did that happen? When? Because people don't randomly do that. They had to get away with it the first time. Kind of like when you went to go steal a piece of candy when you were a child. The first time you stole the piece of candy, you had to try it out. You had to see how far you could go and how they would let you get away with it. Would Grandma let you get away with stealing a few cookies from the cookie jar? One cookie became two cookies, became the whole damn pack. When did you do the first time? Because the first time there was a chance that they could have stopped you. Am I making sense? That first time that they did it, the first time that they tried you out and you let them get away with it, well, that was your opportunity to nip it in the ass. That was your opportunity to dig the root up out of the ground. Now it's a big fucking tree. Now it's a gigantic fucking tree. You're going to need a lot of backhoes. You might even need a landscaper. You're going to need a few people come out there and help you dig this tree up. At one time, it was a small tree. It was just starting out. And you let it grow. All it did was take up fucking space now. Now you're screwed. Now you're going to need a whole team to help you do that. So I was wondering, when was that first time? So I spent a lot of time going back. I've been thinking about it a lot. Because I wanted to give my 2 cents. I wanted to put my personal opinion out there. And what I come to the conclusion is, I want you to think back. Get the shooting out of your head. Take that away. Just forget about that for a minute. Take the Black Lives Matter. Get that out of the way. Take that away for a minute. I want you to get all this shit that's happening right now. The feminist movement, get that out of the way. The PC fucking police, get them out of the way. Just forget about the Justice Warriors. Forget about all of it. Forget about your election right now. Get Donald Trump out of your fucking head. Hillary Clinton's, the socialism, all the chaos that you got going on in your world right now. Get it out of the fucking way. Forget about it. Get it out. Don't think about that. I want you to go back. And I want you to remember this one quote. And I think you will recognize it when you hear it. Don't tase me, bro. You remember that? It was fucking funny, right? Don't tase me, bro. Everybody laughed. Go on YouTube. It's funny. Don't tase me, bro. They even got a fucking remix of the guy. It was so crazy. They got him remixed. He was, don't tase me, bro. It was pretty cool. It was great. Everybody had a good laugh. Everybody had a good laugh. You laughed your asses off. You thought that shit was funny as fuck. It was a poor white kid in college. Who the fuck was he to go up there and question a possible candidate for the presidency of a legitimate argument that he had? Even if, taking into consideration, it's not a legitimate argument. It's crazy talk, man. Crazy talk. Who are you? Talking about conspiracies and craziness like such? You're talking about crazy conspiracies. What do? Sit around your house with tinfoil on your head? You nut job? Huh? Who the fuck are you? Really? I mean, who are you? I'll tell you who you are. You're called an American fucking citizen. That's who the fuck you are. And that's who the fuck he was. He was an American citizen. Paid taxes to the industry called the IRS, called to Buy America. So he pays his fucking taxes. He's a fucking registered American who has the constitutional rights and Bill of Rights under his belt just like everybody else. He doesn't have to earn these rights. You know why? Because they're fucking rights. They're not fucking privileges. He didn't have to do anything to have them. He's an American. And regardless of the rhetoric that came out of his mouth, whether you believe it or whether you do not believe it, he had the right to ask the question. To a candidate, he wanted to ask it too. He stood in line. He patiently waited for his opportunity to get to the mic and ask his question to a candidate. The candidate did not have him screened because he wanted to have the question asked. That was his fucking fault. But regardless of that factor, regardless whether it was screened, unscreened, he had the right to ask it. What upset me the most at that moment in time was when they tased the shit out of him, placed him in fucking jail, gave him a prison sentence, and that he had to fight in court and had to apologize to everybody. We all looked at him and go, well, he's an idiot. He's crazy. He's crazy. Yes, there's a time and a place to ask those questions. Nobody wants to hear your bullshit. That's what those fucking people do. They're conspiracy nuts. Whether they are or are not is not our job, and they owe us no fucking apology for being one. But you said, make a remix out of it. Don't tase me, bro. And you laughed, and you jollied, and you're happy, and the world was a perfect place. And you loved it. You loved it. That has nothing to do with the government. That has nothing to do with the election. If this was this is American people will stand up. Remember that? The American people will stand up. You think so? Well, the day you allowed that to happen, and the day you made sure that little boy had to apologize and go on news broadcast and cry his eyes out, the day you allowed an elected official or a possible candidate to silence you, the day you did not stand up and say, regardless of whether it be crazy or not, you do not have the right to tase, to silence, to use force because you don't want to hear what the American people have to say. And you don't have the right to hurt or kill or maim or physically abuse American citizens because you do not believe what they believe. The day you made a remix out of a young man who wanted to ask a candidate a question was the day that I believe that you told your country that it was okay, that you wanted to be treated like sheep, that you were willing to forgo your rights because you wanted a remix. Because you didn't take it seriously then. You didn't think seriously about what you were doing. I've told you 100 times, just because an opinion is not popular, just because you do not believe what another person says, does not give you the right to silence that person. Regardless. I think 98% of you fuckers are stupid. But I don't silence you, and I don't laugh when people try to keep your opinion out of the ring. Or when people try to say, you can't say something, or it's a big fucking joke. I think you should have the right to ask that question regardless. I think you should have the right to ask that question regardless of factor, whether I believe it to be true and whether anybody else believes it to be true. Is it important to you? Then ask the fucking question. It is not his job to filter his questions just so you can be heard, or because you don't want to hear it, and you think that might be far-fetched. You really? Well, let's take that into consideration. Let's mosey on down and let's see how that worked out. This man could not ask a question to a possible primary candidate for the presidency because his question was stupid. Now, American citizens cannot take back their land because the general public thinks that what you're doing is stupid. And this time they didn't tase them. And what are you going to do about it? You let them take cookies out of your cookie jar. You let them steal from you. Is this the point? Is this the draw the line in the sand moment? You can take this, but you can't take that. Then you're a bidding war. You're willing to bid your freedoms. I don't like it when they do this, but I don't like it. Do you think he liked being tased and made a fool of in front of hundreds of millions of people in the United States? Did you think that he appreciated all his brothers of America and sisters of America? That they thought he was a fool? But now we'll draw the line in the sand. Now it'll be a big deal. Now it's important. And then you get mad when other people find it not that fucking important. You get so upset when you look at that and you go, well, it's important now. And other people are like, it's not that fucking important. How can you say it's not that fucking important? Easy. It's easy to say it. The same way everybody else said it. The same way everybody else said, you know what? They tased him, but it's not that fucking important. And it was pretty much that way. There's fucking things in this world that are funny. There are things that are funny. They're meant to be funny. We laugh about them, stereotypes, all this good stuff. There's always meant to be funny. But there's a time and a place for everything. Your freedoms, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the standing up against tyranny, those things aren't funny. I don't find them humorous in any way, shape, or form. I never have. I just don't find them funny. Maybe you do. Maybe you believe that they're a fucking joke. That founding fathers just went ahead and wrote one gigantic big comedic performance and stuck it in a fucking building. But I don't find it that funny. If they were trying to make a comedic performance, if they were trying to write a best-selling comedy novel, they failed with me. Because I really thought it was a good idea. I think it's a brilliant plan. But I do believe that nobody got it. I make this now because there's so much else going on. It's the Superbowl, so I don't know when the fuck you're going to hear it, if you ever will. I don't know if you'll hear what I have to say. Since the Super Bowl's coming out, I'm pretty much rest assured that most of you will be stuck glued to a TV. And after the Super Bowl, you'll probably go, well, what happened to the world? How could they shoot all those people? Let's get back into business. I want to get riled up. I want to talk about something important now that the Super Bowl's over. But freedom, change, your lives, you can't put them on hold at your convenience. These things don't work on your convenience. They don't. You can't allow people in power over you to walk on you or to walk on your brother. Destroy him, walk on his back, bruise his back. And then turn around, say nothing, find it funny, and then when they step on your back, it's an important thing and we should take it over. We should stop that from happening because it affects you. Because it always will affect you. You have forgotten that this is your house. This is your America. You forgot it then. This is not their house. This is not their America. The government does not dictate law for you. You dictate law for the government. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, is not a book of laws that you must obey. It is a book of laws that your government obeys. It is a bury in the sand. It is a line that you drew and handed to your government, and you said to them, these are the things that you will not compromise on. You do whatever it is you see fit as a government. You protect this land. You give us our infantry. You give us our army. You give us our navy. You give us our armed forces. They are to protect us. Never, ever will they be against us. They are our army. We make up them. We volunteer or are drafted into that army. We, the people, are. So it is our army, not yours. This is your country. This is your America. That is your Bill of Rights. That is your Constitution. And if the government, local or federal, step on it, deny its existence, overlook it, overstep its bounds in any way, regardless of whether I believe in your cause or I do not, whether I believe that you are right, whether I believe that you even have a shred of intelligence. It is your right to ask the question, to be heard, to stand on top of those rights and say, I am just as important as the next guy in line. And I have just as much right to be heard as they do, whether I believe in your cause or not. And you don't tame me, bro. So I want every fucking one of you sons of bitches. I told you at the very beginning, I will come after you too. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. Your feelings mean nothing to me. They never have. You are not my wife. You are not my kids. So I don't give a fuck about your feelings. And I don't care if I hurt them. I'm telling you a fact. You cannot allow your government to do that and then make it so important. So I want you to go back on YouTube, and I want you to look around, and I want you to find that. Just type it in. Go on YouTube, type it in. Don't tase me, bro. And I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it all fucking day before your fucking Super Bowl. I want you to fucking have to watch it 1,000 fucking times. And I want you to laugh. And I want you to giggle. And I want you to have a good time until it's coming out your fucking nose. And then maybe, just maybe, after you're so fucking sick of it, after it's burning your fucking skull, you remember what you said. You remember what you did. And then I want you to turn around and I want you to look at what's going on now. And I want you to go and find the motherfucker that you laughed at, because that was his right. And I want you to fucking apologize. Why should they get so fucking riled up for you when you had nothing but contempt for them? This was their country too, just as much as it was yours. And when they stepped on their rights, you didn't give a fuck. And when they stepped on his rights, you thought it was a fucking joke. I don't easily forget. I never do. I don't forget, and I don't forgive. I want you as an American citizen, to remember what you did. You could make a better world. You could make yourself so much better. You still have a fighting chance, but you will never, ever have that chance without recognizing what you did to allow it to happen. If you don't recognize what you did to allow it to happen, how can you fix it? You can't. You are just screaming into the woods. You're just screaming at the fucking tree because you don't recognize the fucking tree. that it has become a fucking tree in your yard, and you want to dig it up. You want to get rid of it now because you're so fucking busy trimming it. You're so busy out there on your fucking ladder trimming this goddamn huge tree that you forget. You own the land that the tree sits on. You have the shovels. You have the chainsaw. You can remove this fucking tree. The tree doesn't matter. Get rid of the fucking tree. But until you recognize that it's in your yard, that it's a tree, that it is a nuisance, you'll just keep trimming the fucking tree. You haven't hurt that tree. Tree's still there. So there you go. What I got to tell you. You wanted my opinion? You got it. So go fucking do something else. But until such time, I'm going to say the same thing over and over again. I'm going to tell you exactly what I fucking thought. I told you, I have no fucking care in the world for your fucking feelings. If I hurt your feelings and now you're upset, then, well, you know, feelings are like assholes. Everybody's got them. They usually stink. So go fuck yourself. Think about what you did. Make it better. That doesn't make you horrible people. It means you're not paying attention. Pay a fucking attention next time. Even the founding fathers made mistakes. The big deal about them versus you is the founding fathers were not perfect in any way, shape, or form. They all made mistakes all the way down through history. They were smart enough to recognize them and not do them again and again and again and again. And they also owed up to those mistakes. And they also wrote them down. They recognized them. They told the people. If I steer you astray, I'll let you know. It'll be my fault. I have no problems with coming up with it. I have no problems with admitting to it. But we can't sit around and let a man be laughed at because he wanted to ask a question and then turn around and wonder why the people that he was going to ask the question to kick you in the teeth as well. Have a great fucking day. Yay, Super Bowl.